Yeah, just getting myself all sorted here. Lots of things going on for me at the moment, so I think it's a great time to be playing with everything smart home. And yeah, let us know what's happening in your smart home. Today, as usual with my live streams at the moment, I'm finding it's quite useful to start off with looking at a couple of the questions that you guys out there, my viewers, are asking, because I get quite a lot of chat on the channel, and it's quite fantastic to be able to actually come live and talk about some of the things that you guys are interested in. So please feel free, comment if you like. I've got the chat open here, and yeah, feel free, mention anything that you'd like to discuss. Um, Today I've got a few things that I've been thinking about. First of all, I've been doing a couple of surveys, audience surveys. Excuse me. I did have a cold for about a month and I'm getting over it, but might have a few coughs still. Now, there are a couple of things that I've been doing in the last couple of months. I've been doing a few surveys, and it's been really interesting to see the results of these surveys. So, we're going to have a look at some of those survey results. We're also going to be talking a little bit about Meta. The first comment that we're going to discuss here is one of my viewers who is talking about Meta, and we're going to start off, I think, with having a look at that, because I think Meta is something that a lot of smart home providers or IoT manufacturers seem to be producing Meta devices now. Um, Benefits of Meta, obviously, it was promised to us as this be all protocol that was going to allow us to have devices locally installed on our network and be able to communicate between any type of Meta ecosystem. So the comment here from a listener called Tiger Demon is, he says, I find it so frustrating that the entire industry tells us that Meta is here, Meta is there, but all I see is a closed ecosystem and needing every single hub in existence to have the full features. So yeah, feel free, tell us what your thoughts are about Meta. I'll tell you my thoughts about Meta. Um, I was, yep, like everyone, pretty excited when I saw Meta coming onto the market. And it's been a very slow growth for Meta. I must admit, it's been very, very slow. But it certainly does work in some cases. Now, I haven't had much luck in getting a local um, Matter over thread capable antenna or radio working with Home Assistant in my actual Home Assistant network. Currently, the way that I'm using Meta is that I have my Apple HomePod. So I run Apple HomeKit along with Home Assistant alongside. And the use that I have for it is that I've got a whole lot of smart blinds in my house, and they all want to connect over Meta over Thread. So what I've done is I've paired them up with the Apple HomeKit Home Hub, and I've then gone and I've shared them across to Home Assistant. And that seems to have worked reasonably well. I have got one or two that have fallen off for some reason, but it seems to have worked reasonably well. So let us know what your thoughts are about Meta. Meta over Wi-Fi, on the other hand, has worked very, very well for me. I've found it to connect really easily and generally to be rock solid. However, I do have a problem with Meta, and that is sort of what this listener is getting at, is the fact that with Meta, it seems to be relatively closed. I.e., if we have, for example, a local Wi-Fi connection or a local Zigbee connection, it's very easy for us to actually interrogate that connection, find out information, delete the device, re-add the device. Whereas with Meta, I've found this to be quite difficult. There's little or no control, and deleting and re-adding Meta devices seems to be a bit of a disaster. So I can totally get where Tiger Demon is coming from with Meta. And yeah, let us know what you're doing with Meta. What is your favorite smart home device connection tool? Are you using Zigbee seems to be one of the top ones. We'll have a look just now at one of my surveys, and I believe that Zigbee was right up there. So Zigbee's certainly popular. Z-Wave, I think for you guys in America, and that Z-Wave seems to be pretty popular. Here in New Zealand, we don't really do much with Z-Wave. What do you think of the new Z-Wave long range that has just been recently released by Home Assistant? Is Z-Wave long range? Just checking with you guys, if anyone can just comment for me, is my audio coming through all right? Because I've got a few people joining the chat and then leaving. Just want to know, is my audio coming through? Is my video coming through all right for you guys? It's the first live stream I've done in ages. So I just want to make sure, if anyone is watching, please just let me know if you can see and hear me all right before I carry on yakking on for hours on end. So yeah, Zigbee certainly seems to be one of the really common ones. Let me share my screen and show you the results of some of these different surveys that I've been running. Let's just switch you over to the demo. There we go. And we'll go in here and we'll have a look at our surveys. Okay. So first question that the most recent question that I asked people was, how long have your smart home devices been lasting for? Because I must admit, sometimes you buy something, you install it, it works great, and then just all of a sudden it's gone. Maybe you're able to reconnect it, maybe you're not. How long are your devices lasting? Now, the results of the survey were, I've had 56 votes, so 68% of people are saying that their devices are lasting for 5 years or more. 16% of people are saying 3 years, 9% 2 years, and 7% is 1 year or less. So my feeling about all that is that if it's lasting for 1 year or even 2 years or less, in that case, my feeling is that you're probably going to be able to return it to the smart home manufacturer, and you're going to be able to get a refund. So that's okay, but you probably wouldn't buy that device again. What do you think is a reasonable time for an IoT or a smart home device to actually work? Should they be lasting at least 5 years? My thoughts would be 5 years would be, if I bought something and it failed after 5 years, I think that I would feel that it had done a reasonably good dash. That being said, I've only been playing with my smart home for about 4 years now. Been running the YouTube channel for about 3 years. So for me, I certainly have had some devices that have failed. A lot of those have been due to my own fault. I had a Shelly device, a dimmer, and I put non-dimmable bulbs on that, and it failed. So yeah, that was an epic fail. I've just got another one, and I will not make that mistake again. I see there's some more dimmable devices that are going to be coming out soon from Sonoff, which is quite cool. There aren't that many dimmers on the market, I must admit. Are you guys using dimmers at all? Any of you smart homers, are you using dimmers? Do they work for you? Or do you prefer to use something like a smart bulb? Yep, let us know in the comments what your thoughts are about those types of devices. Okay, well, I'm going to carry on and see what else we can have a look at. Let me just switch you back. Sorry, it's a little bit of a manual process at the moment, switching between the different screens on my computer, but I think we'll get there. Where are we looking? We're going back to my smart home surveys. Okay, so that was devices and how long they last. Now, recently I just installed a new smart lock in my house, and it is a palm vein reader. Now, palm vein was something that I hadn't touched before. I'd played with pin code readers, fingerprint readers, and I'd done the face reader from SwitchBot, but I'd never tried a palm reader. So that was quite interesting. And to tell the truth, I'm actually pretty blown away with it. It's actually working extremely well. The speed of recognition is quite fantastic. It's literally responding within, I would say, 1 second or even less. Hold up my hand even if it's moving around a bit or not perfectly positioned, the palm reader seems to work fantastically well, which is pretty exciting for me. It's a TCL lock, the one that I got. And the other thing that I like about this lock is that it is really, really well built. It's all aluminium on the outside, and the device fits together very easily. It was easy to connect. I had a small problem in that in New Zealand, apparently they don't cover New Zealand at the moment. So when you sign on, you have to select that you're in the United States. Wasn't a problem, did that, and then it worked fine. The problem is, however, that the TCL locks at the moment don't seem to have any sort of integration with Home Assistant. So that is a big fail, but let us hope that that comes soon. I did find some posts around having a look at a hex integration, but I didn't seem to be able to find that, and it didn't seem to work. So let us know what locks you're using, what smart home locks you're using. How are they reading you? Are you using a code? Are you using a fingerprint, facial recognition, or palm recognition? What is working well for you? If you can let me know if my sound is all right. It's the first time I'm live streaming in a while now, and I just want to make sure that you guys can hear me. I have got it selected as audio and video, and it is on the Focusrite. So it should be working fine. All right. So my next item on my list over here, let us look at another one of my comments on my channel. All right. Another one here is more about Matter. A lot of manufacturers, as we've said, are starting to bring out these Matter devices, and it seems to be the flavor of the day. Is it going to last? Is it not? Let's see. Let me know what your comments are. So this comment was, ignoring Zigbee is a big mistake. I'm sure manufacturers are being pushed to do Matter and Thread, but Zigbee is king. We don't care for or about Matter. So that was Mr. Super Sidewinder. Thanks for the comment there. So yeah, as I say, for me, Matter is okay. Seems to work all right in some cases, but there are some real limitations. One of the real limitations with Matter is that it only offers you a very small number of entities. For example, you might add a smart lock. Only thing it's going to give you is lock and unlock. It's not going to give you feedback at all. So yeah, frustrating, but let's see. All right. The next comment that we've got up here is, depends on reliability. I'm here looking at it now, and I'm sick of the level of maintenance one Home Assistant needed on Home Assistant. Since version 15, I'm having regular device dropouts, and several of my integrations have been broken. Very interested to hear what you guys think. Are you having problems with your devices falling off of Home Assistant, or is it just some of us that are having this problem? I know that I have had problems in the past. Well, problems ongoing with devices falling off. So really interested to know what you guys. So recently I've got a weather station. It's been pretty bulletproof, but recently there was a certain upgrade. I think it was something done by, it could have been a weather station provider, because I wasn't the only one. I had some questions from some of my listeners as well. They were saying that their weather station also dropped out. What I did was I removed the device and I re-added it into Home Assistant, and since then it's been fine. So it'd be great to hear from you guys. Are you having more dropouts, or do you think Home Assistant is starting to make enough changes to limit those dropouts? All right. Next comment we've got here. You can use this as a device for Home Assistant. You can use it as a relay and a display. Home Assistant dashboard on the screen, while the latest firmware, you can disable the toolbar so it's displaying your dashboard in full screen. On an X2 display is coming as well, twice the size, which also needed for USB-C if you don't want it permanently installed. Now, what this listener is talking about is the Shelly. Shelly is releasing some great new stuff. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you over to the Shelly website, and we're going to have a look here and see what Shelly is doing. Shelly is starting to release some super cool products, and I believe there's a show on at the moment. I think it's in Germany. Is it IFA? Is that the term for the show that's on at the moment? And at that show, it seems like these guys are releasing some pretty cool new smart home devices. So let us have a look. I'm going to switch you back over to my screen so we can have a look at Shelly together and see what some of the things are that these guys are producing. Now, I recently did a video on the Shelly dimmer. I think that's the version 3. Version 3 of Shelly and version 4 of a fantastic improvement. They have just really gone all the way with connection. I used to battle with Shelly in the early days with connecting it, but now they are just super easy with the Bluetooth integration that allows you to connect them. Now, this is something that they've just released, the new Shelly Wall Display XL. So there was a Shelly Wall Display 2 that was released, and I did a video on the Shelly Wall Display 1, which had literally unbelievable interest in. So this is very interesting to see that they obviously have had a lot of success on the Shelly wall displays, and they've now released a new version. So what it looks like on this version, it looks like you've got 2, or is that even 4 buttons over here. That possibly could be for relays on the Shelly, in the Shelly viewer itself. Then we've got the screen, which can be divided up and can be controlling individual different Shelly devices. I see they've got a Sonos plugin over there. They've got a music player. So very interested to see what this device is offering and when it's going to be available. So there we go. It's a 10-inch responsive HD color touchscreen display. Ultra-fast quad-core CPU for instant response. Wall-mount design with EU standards. Dual 2-watt speakers. Okay, so it's got speakers in it as well. Bluetooth and Sonos support. Bluetooth, dual band, built-in relay. Okay, so it's got one relay, 4 customizable buttons. Okay, so those must be those buttons. It's got a proximity and a brightness sensor. It's got power monitoring for connected Shelly's devices. So this looks like a super cool device, I must admit. I'm very interested to see what this is going to look like. Can't seem to scroll through the pictures there, but it looks very cool. Let's just play this little video and see what they show here. Let's check this out. So that's the standard one. That was the X2, which I'm hoping to try soon. And this is the Go Big Wall XL display. So basically, you just replace your light switch with this whole big display. The beauty of this, obviously, is you've got the power coming in from your wall switch to power the device. And it's obviously then connects in with Shelly devices. You can also display your Home Assistant dashboards on here. I believe this is an Android system as far as I know. So it brings in the Home Assistant via a web user interface. But yeah, these screens from Shelly, they originally came out only in 220 volt systems. But Shelly has told me that they will be providing a system which will offer it to be either multi-voltage, or they'll be producing separate screens which are going to be available in a 110 volting system for you guys in the US. So that will be pretty cool. I must admit, I'm quite excited to see what Shelly is going to do. Let's have a look at what other things Shelly is bringing in. Shelly's latest tech announcements. Let's check out what Shelly is doing here. Okay, so it looks like they're releasing a flood sensor. That's cool. They haven't done a flood sensor before. What do you use many flood sensors? I have a couple around the house. One thing I find with things like flood sensors, easy to forget them and let them fall off of your network. and forget to actually check them. So I really need to have a way of checking them. So yeah, this new wall displays, I think this is going to be a big part of Shelly's future, and I'm really excited to try this out. See, they've also got a new compact power strip over there. That's pretty cool, the way they light up like that. I quite like that. Let's see if they produce something like this for the NZ and Australia market. Presence monitoring. Oh, okay. So Shelly's going into presence monitoring as well. Shelly Presence Gen 4 smart presence detection for multi-person and multi-zone tracking. So that must be a millimeter wave sensor over there. Blue remote control. Remote controls. Wow. It seems like Shelly are even an ultrasonic distance sensor. Ultrasonics are super cool for measuring tank water levels and things like that. It really seems as if Shelly, they're releasing a dimmer 4 as well, Gen 4. That's cool. Just amazing what Shelly's doing. They've just, all of a sudden, they started off some cool devices, but it was just relays. Now they are releasing so many cool devices. Super cool to see. Hey, Johnny. Awesome. Welcome back, mate. Great to see you. Let me just switch my screen over quickly. Hang on a second. Give me I'm on manual mode. Unfortunately, my Stream Deck is not switching today for some reason or other. Hey, Johnny. Good to see you, man. It is fantastic. Yes, long time no Johnny Bergdahl, one of my well appreciated supporters out there as a member of the Simon Says channel. It's great to have you in the house today, Johnny. It has been a long time because I've been off sick, man. I managed to get a cold and it wiped me out for a month, and then my voice literally was not back for doing live chatting. So that's what it is. I haven't been avoiding you guys, but it's fantastic to see you there, Johnny. Who else have we got here? David. What are you saying, David? Recently begun my Home Assistant journey, but to be honest, I'm pretty disappointed. Okay, David, I'm sorry to hear you're disappointed. It'd be great to know a little bit about what is frustrating you so much with your smart home. It can be very challenging in the beginning. I've been doing it for 4 years now, and I love it, and as a lot of people do, but really interested to know what is really disappointing you about it. There certainly are challenges out there, and it's a market that's changing a lot the whole time. We've got all sorts of new. We've got Homey Pro coming out. We've got obviously Apple HomeKit. We've got the Amazons and the Googles of this world. So there's a lot of different options. Be interesting to hear what is going on and what is challenging you there, because we are all here to help. There's a great community, and this is why I'm on Home Assistant. It's all about the community. I was really impressed with the Homey Pro hardware, I must admit. I thought it was fantastic. It's a device that has got every single radio built in. It looks very professional. Quite expensive though, sort of $350 or something for the hardware. But the thing that it lacks is the community. You try and do something in Home Assistant, and literally there is an answer out there, even for my TCL lock that I'm trying to connect to Home Assistant. I'm sure someone is going to come up with an integration for that TCL palm reading lock soon. Okay. Step 1, automate your lights. Nice one, Johnny. That is fantastic advice there. Yep, lights are always a good place to start. Lights are quite easy to automate. You've obviously got 2 major options with lights. And this is something that you need to really think about, David, when you start. With lights, you're either going to put smart switches in. So there's 2 ways of doing smart switches. You're either going to put something like a Shelly or a Sonoff behind your existing switch, or you're going to buy a new switch, something like this little guy over here. This is a smart switch, single gang smart switch that I'm playing with at the moment. So you're either going to use one of these, or you're going to use one of these. a Shelly or some other little device, a Sonoff, something like that, or otherwise you're going to go with a smart bulb. Now, those three options are a little bit confusing, but it depends on what you want to do. Okay, let's see what some more comments here. I like keeping up with the comments. Step 2, do something cool. There we go. That's Johnny, always coming up with a good idea there. Johnny, talking about your good ideas, man, I see your video about that that little circuit board router. Man, that's got some fantastic interest out there. It's just amazing the number of people. I think you've got 1 million views of that video. Just crazy. Then you will not be disappointed. Yep, you're right. You can do some cool stuff with lighting. For me, lighting has been awesome. I've got smart switches on most of my lights. So either something like this or something like a Shelly behind on pretty much all of my lights. And then I've got a lot of WLED light strips. So I have WLED behind my TV, I have WLED below my my cupboards in my kitchen and my cupboards in my bathroom. And WLED is fantastic for giving real local control over your RGB light strips. Okay, welcome, Tommy Dlamini. You must be from South Africa, I'm assuming, with that name. Welcome, welcome, Tommy. I'm having a problem with my presence sensor from Tuya. Ah, yes. Tuya can be a challenge, Tommy. I constantly stuck on clear, but the light sensor is working fine. Look, Tuya, unfortunately, is a really, really challenging system because it's cloud-based and it's just really painful. So honestly, I know it's a pain having bought the Tuya device, but unless you're going to stick in the Tuya system, if you're going to use something like Home Assistant, I would honestly move over to devices that are either locally controlled or they're Zigbee or something like that. But Tuya is always going to be difficult. All right, David, let's see what your comment is here. It seems that what I've been able to do is quite simple with Amazon Alexa is ultra complex and unfathomable with HA. Okay. I'm expecting all my devices and sensors to be populated HA, but not so. All right. Yeah. No, I understand. I totally understand. Home Assistant is a really, really big learning curve when you're used to using Amazon. Amazon is really simple. Amazon connects to most things and it is very simple. However, with Amazon, you're always going to be limited to being cloud-based and being controlled by Amazon. So yes, it is a really good starting point, but the learning curve with Home Assistant is well worth it. I've got a lot of videos. There's a lot of other people out there that are creating videos. The problem with getting device into Home Assistant is generally related to two things. Either you're using Tuya devices, which are very, very tricky and unreliable to get into Home Assistant, or perhaps you don't have a radio. Don't know. If you're the Zigbee devices, you do need a radio for Home Assistant. It won't work with Wi-Fi, so that could be a problem. But yeah, feel free, ask us more questions. We're all here to help. And David, don't give up on Home Assistant. All right. Tommy, is there anything out there to tilt blinds? Very good question, Tommy. Yes, there is a blind tilt. There's a blind tilt from, and Johnny's saying, you came from Alexa. I see the problem. Yes, the dreaded Alexa. And I'm setting off all your guys' little Alexas out there. I do apologize. And Johnny's saying, I have SwitchBot for my blinds. Get the automation based on the sunrise in Home Assistant. That is exactly what I was going to say, Johnny. You always think the same way that I do. So let me show you this, Tommy. So I'm just going to change my screen over here. Let's switch you over to the demo screen. And if we go over here to SwitchBot, SwitchBot has this thing called the blind tilt. It's a very cool. Now, talking about SwitchBot, this looks amazing. Has anyone seen this? This is something that literally plays tennis with you. Oh my goodness, a tennis robot. How cool is that? But I don't know if anyone's actually got that device or has used it. Should be interesting to see. But getting off the topic again. All right, blinds. Let me show you the product that I am talking about. SwitchBot blind. SwitchBot, no, it's called the SwitchBot tilt. Let's just see if we push here. Tilt. Is that going to work? No, it's not. Search tilt. Let's see. Here we go. SwitchBot blind tilt. This is what I'm looking for, Tommy. So this device, you'll see here that it connects in. Now, one thing you do need to have on your blinds is you need one of these little ones. It doesn't work if you have the two cords, but I do have a video that shows you how to actually convert your blinds over from a corded blind over to a wand blind. So you can follow in that. It just involves ordering a small part from AliExpress. Costs you a couple of dollars, and you have your blinds up and running. So as you can see, it's got an adhesive that sticks to the top of the blind, and it hangs down like this. This is the battery and the motor. And then your little wand gets clamped in here, and it opens and closes. It has that little solar panel, so it charges itself automatically. And this is a great device. I've tested it. It works great. Lots of people really love this little blind tilt device, and I can really recommend it if you're looking for tilting your blinds. So hopefully that has helped you. Worth the while getting hold of that. It's a fantastically cool little product. Okay, fantastic. Welcome everyone. We've got lots of chat here. What is Johnny saying? Johnny is saying, works fine, but they do lose min-max, so you need to recalibrate every 3 months. Okay, well, that is a little bit of a pain. I must admit, I've never really used mine long enough. Unfortunately, my tilts, I've actually moved away from tilts. I've mainly got roller blinds at the moment because I've got a whole lot of matter-based roller blinds that got sent to me. So I've pretty much switched over to the roller blinds, and I haven't been using tilts. But yeah, if you're in Sweden, I have a 3D printed adapter. Well, thank you, Johnny. That's very kind of you. 3D printers, they are just awesome. I have a really basic one here behind me. That's the Creality SEV3, I think it's called. And I just printed something this morning. Look at this cool thing. A Sonoff camera. And the beauty of Sonoff is they are now releasing pre-3D print files to work with some of their devices. So for the mount for this camera, I can just literally print different mounts. Isn't that cool? So yeah, 3D printing is fantastic. Just get yourself a cheap 3D printer. They literally are so cheap now, and the cheap ones work fine. You don't need to get something fancy. And if you want to make it work better, you can go along and you can get something like Octoprint, and you can pretty much do with your cheap printer what other people are doing with these other ones. Tommy says, I will look into SwitchBot for my blinds. Fantastic, Tommy. Thanks for the feedback. Hope you enjoy that. All right. Now, it's great to have everyone here on the chat. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch back to those little surveys that I've been doing, because I think there's some really interesting stuff that's coming out of these surveys. So I'm just going to switch you guys all back. Now, I won't see your chat, but feel free to chat away, and I will get back to the chat in a minute. All right. So if we go along here, so the first thing, I think a lot of you missed this, but the most recent one I've done is how long are your smart home devices lasting before they fail? 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, or 5 years and more. The really encouraging thing that I'm seeing here is that almost 70% of people are saying that their smart home devices are lasting for 5 years or more. That is pretty impressive. I would be reasonably happy compared to the way that most electronics that we buy today is if a smart home device lost, especially cheap ones, relays and smart bulbs and stuff. Look, if you're buying an expensive product, $500 to $1,000, a mower or something, even then, I think you'd be lucky if you get 5 years. So that's good to hear. Now, 1 year or less, 1 or 2 years at least, you can get your warranty back here, where you can swap it out based on warranty. And 3 years, okay, I suppose if it's 3 years, 16%, you'll be pretty frustrated. Next up, I was just talking about smart locks. I've recently put in the TLC palm vein reading smart lock. Very impressed. Reads my palm vein within 1 second, and very nice piece of hardware. Problem I've got is no Home Assistant integration. So yeah, let us know what you think about smart locks. What's working for you? Let's just go back to the chat quickly. I see we've got some chat. This is joyful. Let's go back there. There we go. Awesome, awesome. Tommy is saying, I'm in South Africa, Johnny. Yeah, I thought you must be in South Africa, Tommy. Welcome, welcome. I'm from Johannesburg originally. Been living in New Zealand for 20 years now, but I really miss South Africa. It's a fantastic country, and I just love the people and the food. All right. Welcome, Adrian Stroy. Hello from Ireland. Welcome. Fantastic to have you with us here, Adrian. Let us know where you are in your smart home journey. We're all at different stages, and it's fantastic hearing from everyone out there what you're doing. A question for you. I had a comment that I read out earlier. Someone was saying that they seem to be having a lot of problem with Home Assistant, basically dropping devices and doing upgrades and having problems. It'd be great to get your guys' feedback as to what's happening with your Home Assistant at the moment. Are you finding that it's more reliable now or less reliable than, say, 2, 3, 4 years ago? Great to get your feedback. For me, mine is working pretty well. I've now upgraded. You'll see I did a video a while ago loading my Home Assistant onto a mini PC. Best thing I ever did. Just bought an old Lenovo mini PC. I got it for about $50 US. Really cheap. I've just bought another one. They are great. And I've got it running on there. Fantastic. It's got, I think, a 250 gig hard drive. I've used like 10% or whatever. It's working fantastically. So let us know what you're running your smart home on and how reliable is it. Okay, Ireland. I am the guy with 197 Zigbee devices and Combi 3. Oh, yes. I do remember you now, Adrian. Apologize for not remembering your name. But when you mentioned the 197 devices and 3 Combi 3, yeah, that is just impressive. Now, I see there's a lot of new sticks coming out at the moment, Zigbee sticks. Obviously, SM Lite is pumping out different Zigbee radios all the time. I tested out the dual one recently. They are great, but I find them a little bit complex in the way of, if you're a beginner especially, trying to work out how to set them up. With a Sonoff, you just plug it into the USB and you're away. With those ones from SM Lite, there is a little bit more setup required. Talking about Sonoff, I see they've just released a new Zigbee stick, so it'd be quite cool. I will be testing that soon. Quite cool to see what that new one is. All right, what is Johnny saying? On a combi, impressive. Okay, I don't know what that means, Johnny. Whether you've got a concern about combis. I've never tried a combi. I've been running my Sonoff for absolutely ages now. I have also run an SM Lite for a while. But yeah, the Sonoff for me has been pretty much rock solid, does the trick. I must admit, I'm having a lot of challenges with Zigbee to MQTT for some reason. I got it up and running, used it for a while, had frustrations, killed it, set it up a second time, really battled to get it going up, and it literally fell over again. So I don't know about you guys. I'm just using Zigbee ZHA. Seems to work okay, but Zigbee to MQTT gives you so many different entities inside your device, which I absolutely love. Okay. So Johnny is saying that he switched over to SM Lite and it's so good. Yeah, look, they look like quality hardware, I must admit, and I love the flexibility about all the programming. What I'm just saying is that it is a bit daunting sometimes for a beginner because it has so many different settings in there and you've got to work out exactly what is going on there. But yeah, pretty cool. All right. Adrian is saying, I still run it on a Pi 4 and it's running great under 4%. Oh my goodness, Adrian. You are the OG of Home Assistant. That is just amazing. A Pi 4, I assume that's a 4 gig at least, and you've got 4% CPU and you're using a Conbi 3 with decons. That is unbelievable. I mean, how do you get it right? Adrian, it's just fantastic. But now, one thing I do want to ask you. I'm assuming that you're not running many cameras through that system. I find that the moment you start running cameras into Home Assistant, especially if you're running something like Frigate as an add-on, it can certainly start chewing up the resources. I do have a Google Coral on mine, which has helped a lot. All right. So yeah, tell us, Adrian, tell us a bit more about your setup. I'm fantastically interested to hear. Combi supports way less kinds of devices than Zigbee to MQTT. Ah, yeah, I know. Zigbee to MQTT is very, very powerful, Johnny. I don't know why, but I'm just really struggling with Zigbee to MQTT. I had a lot of help to get it running, and then it just fell over again, and I have no idea why. It just does not want to run or start up or do anything. So, yeah, I don't know what it is. As I've always been very upfront with my listeners on this channel, I am a noob. I'm not an IT. Like a lot of people in this field, they are IT in their job. I'm not anything to do with IT. I work in the construction industry. So, yeah, it's all self-taught from YouTube videos and kind people on the forums. So, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I struggle, but hopefully I can bridge the gap between some of you guys that are starting and learning. So, yeah, let's see. So, as I say, upgrading my Home Assistant onto a mini PC was really awesome. So let's have a look at some of the other survey questions that I've been asking because I find this really interesting looking at the survey results. Okay. What installation method are you using for your Home Assistant instance? So 72% of people, we had 167 votes here, so quite a good spread. 72% using the OS. 6% using Docker, and 22% using virtual machine. So yeah, interesting. Home Assistant OS is definitely out there as the most popular. Where do you buy your smart home devices? So that was another interesting question to hear where people are buying them. So it seems like Amazon is the winner here, 44%. AliExpress second, 40%. Other online sites, so I assume that's directly from manufacturers, places like, of course, Apollo and Everything Presents One. They have their own sites, and then retail stores. I was quite surprised that only 2% of smart home devices are coming from retail stores. Wow, pretty crazy. It just shows you that retail brick and mortar is just going out, hey? So Adrian is saying just 2 cameras active at all time, Aquara G10 410 doorbell and the G2H. Rest of the cameras are all off by default. Come on, stay. Let me make you 20 seconds so you don't just disappear. Okay, rest of the cameras are off by default, but even when all the cameras are on, cannot see the difference. 6 offline cameras. Wow. Adrian, you've got a fantastic system there. There must be something incredibly right with your system. Do you have a really amazing Wi-Fi network? Obviously, you've got your Zigbee network that's so amazing. What is it? Do you use many Wi-Fi devices, or you're all Zigbee? And is that what you are thinking that is making it work so well? It'd be interesting to know how many Wi-Fi devices. Obviously, some of those cameras and things will be coming through on Wi-Fi because Zigbee doesn't support cameras. So I'll be interested to know how many Wi-Fi devices you've got connecting to your router. I certainly had to upgrade my router. Originally, I was using one of those free ones from the internet provider, and yeah, that was a disaster. I think I hit 15 devices, and then it all fell over like Humpty Dumpty. So no, interested to hear more about how you're managing to run that Pi 4. Have you at least got a on an SSD rather than an SD card? I assume so, but who knows? I'm guessing you actually may have it on SD card. Adrian, tell us. I'm interested to find out. All right, let's go back to the survey now. Okay. I'm all over the place here. Come on, where is my... Yes, we'll switch you back over there. I really need to get my switcher working again. All right. So next question is, what do you think the team at Home Assistant should be working on for future upgrades? Now, what surprised me here was the evenness of the split, okay, between having a look at these different things. So I thought the user interface was going to be the real key, but it seems like new Home Assistant native integrations and automation design tools are right up there. AI integration, close as well, 24%, and user interface, 21%. So yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Now, just recently, in the last upgrade, it's quite interesting. I basically was having a look at the last upgrade. Now, I think this is pretty cool. I don't know if you guys have played with this at all, but we have let's just go here to my new home dashboard. Okay, not sure if any of you played with this. This is the new default dashboard. Well, no, it's not the default, but it's a new dashboard that you can create within Home Assistant automatically. This is on 2025.9. What I think is quite cool here is it's given you a summary. So it's telling me that 4 lights are turned on. I can go in there and I can see which of those lights are. I can then go in and I can adjust those lights. So that's pretty cool. Climate. It's interesting. Okay, it's put my AC under climate. I would have thought climate would bring in stuff like weather stations and that, but it doesn't seem like it. Then we have security. It's bringing in some cameras. Yeah, pretty good. We have media players. So it's bringing in all my media players. And then it goes room by room. So, for example, we could look at the back door. One thing I'd love for Home Assistant is to be able to get rid of all these old dead entities. It would be fantastic because these things just build up. You just go back to chat quick. I see one of you guys chatting there. Go back to the chat. All right, Adrian, mostly Zigbee, 4 ESP home devices, plus Home Assistant voice. I have a new router from my ISP, nothing fancy on Wi-Fi, about 30 devices on Wi-Fi with phones and tablets. A new router. Okay, so did you have to pay extra for that router, or is that the basic one that they give you? Because the basic one that I got was absolutely useless. It was horrible. So yeah, maybe in Ireland they've got really good routers that they're giving you to get you to come over to them. Perhaps that's a story. I don't know. But anyway, I am very, very impressed, David, with the way that your system is running. Oh, sorry, Adrian. David was the next comment. Recommendations for door contact sensors. Also, I have Home Assistant on a NUC in my garage. Will a USB Zigbee dongle work okay? All right. Running on a NUC is great. That's the same thing as what I'm doing. Zigbee dongle working in the garage. Well, it depends on, first of all, how big your house is. And second of all, it depends on how, which type of Zigbee dongle you've got. Some of them are stronger than others. What I would recommend, if your NUC is in the garage and it's a long way away from other areas in the house, first thing you need to think about is your Zigbee network. So make sure that you've got a repeater close to the garage. So whatever the room is next to the garage, you might have a Zigbee light bulb or a Zigbee plug or something, so that that's going to bounce from your Zigbee stick in the garage to that and then onto the rest of your network. The next thing that I would recommend is that when you pair new Zigbee devices, you pair them to routers that are close to them. Don't let them automatically pair, because sometimes they won't pair to the right one and they might be trying to contact that USB stick in your garage, and that could cause problems. So try to make sure that the Zigbee network, you can use that visualizer tool, which is really good to make sure that your Zigbee network is working properly. The other option, as with Johnny is saying, he's got a SM Lite which is working. You can run that on Wi-Fi or on Ethernet, so you can put it anywhere in the house that you want to, and it will then communicate directly over your network, and then it will have a Zigbee network or the hub, the the coordinator being in the center of your house. So there's another option that you could choose. Okay. All right. Adrian, I have an SSD with USB with MariaDB. Okay, so you do have SSD, not an SD card. Yeah. MariaDB, I need to stop playing around with databases. That is pretty cool. There's actually a setting to give more memory to MariaDB, so it works great. Yeah, that would be a help, because Maria does use a reasonable amount of memory. What size memory have you got on your Pi there, Adrian? Is it a 4 gig, or do you get a Pi 4 8 gig? I don't know. Move to fiber, and is the standard ones they give you. Oh man, that is just amazing. I think in Ireland perhaps they bribing you guys and giving you fancy modems so that you stick with them. Not sure, but that's fantastic to get a free modem that is working that well. Okay, welcome Tommy, thank you back. Good to hear from you again. Just started with Home Assistant, and so far it's working great. Running on a Raspberry Pi 5, and I must say, Simon, love your tutorials. Short and straight to the point. Big shout out. Thank you, Tommy. Really appreciate your feedback. It's so awesome to hear positive feedback from my viewers, and that I'm being helpful, because I love Smart Home. I love creating my videos. I love my community, and it's so great being live with you again and hearing all of this awesome feedback. That is fantastic. Yeah, Pi 5 is great. Pi 5s are amazing. I'm very impressed with them. SSD will definitely help your Pi 5 a lot. Interference is very important. I run my stick on channel 25, got my neighbors to run lower EFI channels. That really helped with Zigbee stability. Okay, Adrian, that's good feedback. Thank you for that, and thank you for everyone. That is one point that I did forget, is the channels. It's not something I've had to play around with, because my Zigbee is reasonably good. I'm not in a massive house, and my Zigbee seems to work pretty well. Okay. Adrian is saying he's running 8 gig. Yeah, 8 gig is, you would definitely need 8 gig, because I think that extra RAM is even more important than the processing power often. So yeah, 8 gig and having an SSD obviously got you nice and a good basis. Pis are really cost effective to run. They're small, they're easy, they don't generally have big fans that make a noise. Yeah, Pi is a great choice. I must admit, I ran mine on Pis for many years. I've run it on the yellow, which is pretty cool. That's a Raspberry Pi 4 CM Command Module 4 inside there. Always running with SSDs. What else have I run on? I've run on an Odroid before. This is an Odroid from Apollo. Pretty cool little device as well. I believe the first Home Assistant Blue was an Odroid. Odroids are cool as well. Really nice devices. They are a good way of running Home Assistant. There's so many ways to run Home Assistant, isn't it? Okay, what is David saying here? David is saying, okay, thanks for Zigbee advice. I was considering SM Lite, but I think it may be too complex to set up for a newbie. Look, it's not terribly complex, but all I'm saying is plugging a USB stick straight into your Home Assistant is definitely a lot simpler than an SM Lite. So, yeah, the Sonoff Zigbee sticks are fantastically simple to use, and I've never had any problem. Mine's been running for years and years and years, and it just seems to work. And my Zigbee network is pretty good. So, yeah, that's just my experience. But yeah, as Johnny says, the SM Lite is very good. Meant to say up to 26. Oh, Johnny, sorry, what was that 26 for? 26, is that the channel that you're running on? Let's just go back. What is 26 relating to? I wish this thing would show people. Combi, I switched to SM Lite device. Not sure. Up to 26. Johnny, is that the channel you're talking about, or is that 26 devices? Not sure what you were referring to on 26, but please just comment. Yeah. But really great to be live again, guys. It's so fun. All right, let's go and have a look at our surveys again. I'm really enjoying these surveys, and I hope you're finding them useful as well. All right. So some of the other surveys, new features 2025. Okay, that was interesting. The AI side of things was quite interesting. People like that. Redesigning the area card, integration page getting an overhaul. How many smart home hubs? Now, this is an interesting one, I reckon. Smart home hubs. 80% of people are running one or less. I think that's good. I don't want to be running 100 hubs, but because I'm always testing new stuff, I always have some type of new hub. At the moment, I've got heaps of hubs that are going. Let me just shift back to chat quickly, guys. Sorry, I always like to respond to your chat ASAP. Johnny's saying SM Lite is a separate device. So when you switch to a PC, you need to do nothing. Okay. I see what you're getting at. Because it's running, it's not plugged into the Home Assistant instance. It's running totally as its own hosted IP device. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying there. Channel 26 is not supported by some devices, so I try and avoid it. Okay. I need to actually start playing with these different channels, because it is pretty interesting looking at. Let's open up my Zigbee network. It's a lot smaller than what you guys are running, but it's interesting just to see. You just switch back over here, go to our demo page. So if you see my Zigbee network, let's go here, devices and services. We'll go over to Zigbee. All right, where are we? Zigbee. Okay, so what I want to go is to the visualizer. Come on, get down here. Show me my visualization. Okay. So as you guys can see, I've got a pretty small Zigbee network, but this is just so cool. Okay, so having a look at our Zigbee network. All right, let us see what is working here and what we can tell from what's going on. Okay, so we have, what is going, it's hard for me to see the lines at the moment for some reason or other. This is looking very weird. So this is showing that my kitchen light, they've changed this visualizer since I was last in here. This is quite interesting. So my kitchen light, Sonoff Zigbee ZM Mini 2R, okay, is working as the main router here at the moment. It's very interesting. Then it's showing I've got a generic Zigbee coordinator. Yep, the EWLink. SNZB04. We've then got a presence sensor. This is quite bizarre. It's totally changed from the way this whole thing worked the last time. It seemed to be a lot more easy to understand the last time I was playing with this. There's an Acquira light sitting over there. There's an EWLink device. We've got a power meter. This is just quite weird. It's totally changed. That's a Zigbee device under my house. We've got a curtain controller. Okay. Well, this has just really surprised me because it seems they've really changed this look and feel of this Zigbee. It used to be a lot easier to understand what was going on. Don't know what you guys think of this, but yeah, it's certainly not what I'm used to in the way of the Zigbee network. It used to be quite different to that. Yeah, so let me get back to see what's going on here. All right. Johnny is saying, Adrian is saying, I cannot paste in this chat my Zigbee network. It is crazy. I know. Yeah, I can just imagine. You would not want to be trying to paste that Zigbee network of yours, Adrian. All right. Johnny is saying, I scrapped all my hubs. Ah, okay. Yeah. Well, I've got so many. It's just great. Some of them I can't scrap. Some of them, for example, my weather station hub, it requires a hub to communicate. I think it uses 433 megahertz. So I do need a hub for that. What other hubs have I got? Obviously, Home Assistant is my main one. I've got I've got a Reolink. I've got two hubs. I've got an MVR and I've got another little hub thing. I've got what other hubs do I have? Oh, I've got a what is it called? A LoRaWAN hub. That's quite cool. It basically, I've played with LoRa for some of my long range devices. So that I need a hub for. What other hubs have I got? I've got an Aquara hub because I test some Aquara devices and I want to see how they work with Aquara hub. So yeah, I've got a number of hubs in my system. All right. Johnny is saying here, let's see what Johnny is saying. Zigbee uses the same frequency as Wi-Fi. So if you live in an apartment with lots of neighbors' Wi-Fi, you need to set the Zigbee channel to the least used channel. Yeah, I have heard that, Johnny, and I need to actually, I don't live in an apartment, but I do have quite a lot of people around me. So there's quite a few Zigbee Wi-Fi signals, and yeah, that may be configuring it, messing with mine, but my Zigbee seems to be reasonably good at the moment. All right. So let's just get back quickly to, I was having a look at that new dashboard that Home Assistant has introduced. Let's just switch you guys back to that. Get back over here and to my Home Assistant. Here we go. Yep. Which one was it? New Home. So yeah, that's interesting. Configuration error. Don't know what's gone on there. That's bizarre. That's just happened since we were last looking at it. But anyway, you can see that it's grouping things based on either summaries, which has suddenly just died for some reason, and then basing it on areas. It brings this little weather card in here. Quite a cool weather card. Energy. Now, what's quite cool with energy, they finally sorted energy in that my energy dashboard is finally not having a negative on the first hour. So pretty cool. I love energy monitoring. I find it really useful to see how much energy my smart home using at any one time. Okay. All right. So going back here. Oh, we got a comment. Yes. Let's just go back here and see to the comments. Give me a second. I'll switch you back now and we'll read the comment. Adrian is saying yes, and routers have smart channel selection. So you have to negotiate with your neighbors to set their channels, and it's better for them too. Yeah, well, as long as you've got a good relationship with your neighbors, that's a really good idea, Adrian. And will, I'm sure, improve the performance of those Zigbee networks because, I mean, a lot of people complain about Zigbee. Personally, for me, ZHA seems to be working great. Don't have any problems with it. It's doing the trick for me. But Zigbee isn't always an interesting topic. With all this talk about Zigbee, what do you guys think of Matter? Matter over Wi-Fi, Matter over Thread. Are you using it all? What do you think of it? Please let me know what you think of it. Okay. Johnny says, I actually designed a LoRa 4 gateway that has been sold to all of the continents except Antarctica, including NZ. Oh my goodness, that's amazing, Johnny. Wow. That is fantastic. Yeah, you're next level, man. Yeah, your knowledge is just phenomenal. Wow, so you designed a gateway. That's cool. I love LoRaWAN. I've got the Yolink hub at the moment with some door sensors. I also tested that LoRa gateway from that other company in China recently. That was pretty cool. It was two little devices, and you could actually connect up sensors on the one side and read them back into Home Assistant. So that was pretty sweet, I must admit. LoRa is great. I'm using the door sensors at the moment. Meta integration. Adrian, not sure. Meta integration. Meta. Yep, let us know what you're thinking about meta integration. I'll be interested to know. Is that meta as, yeah. Oh, Meta. Okay. Not using Meta or Thread. Okay. Yeah, Johnny, the challenging thing is that more and more of the smart home devices are now being pushed out for Meta. It seems, oh, no Meta. So Adrian is saying no Meta. I mean, is it Meta? I don't know. We'll soon get to it. But anyway, yeah, one of the things is that more and more of the smart home devices are now being pushed out on the Meta platform, and it seems Meta over Thread is actually where it seems to be moving. I think a lot of that is due to the fact that you've got things like Amazon and HomeKit that have got the built-in Thread border routers inside of the actual hubs. And that's my other hub that I use, my Apple Home hub. Yeah, Apple Home Pod Mini. Yeah, that's the one. So yeah, Meta I think is probably here to stay because the networks, well, the bigger sort of generic networks like HomeKit, they are pushing for Meta, and that's why I think we're getting so many of these Meta over Thread. Okay, Adrian is saying he's finally got there that it is actually matter that he's saying, and not Meta. Had a long day. Okay, Adrian, I'll let you get on with that. Yeah, it must be quite late there now. I mean, we're 11:30 a.m. here. Wow, been going for an hour. That's good. 11:30 a.m. here in New Zealand. I assume that means in Ireland you must be close to midnight. Wow, staying up late, burning the midnight oil there. Okay. All right. So, yeah, Meta, I think it is here to stay. But for us that are doing local smart homes, I think Zigbee really seems to be the one for you. And, yeah, I will put in a little bit more effort into my Zigbee to MQTT and try and get it working again, see what we can do. All right. Johnny is saying, I have some devices that want me to activate Meta. I was like, nah, who cares? You're already connected to HA. Yeah, it's interesting, Johnny. I see that what's happening now is because we now have the new ESP32 chips that allow you to either have them working on Zigbee or on Thread, you can actually switch between the two. And I think that's a great way of developing devices if they can give you the option that you can stick on Zigbee if you want to. I see that Shelly's going that with their devices. You can either have them on Meta over Thread or on Zigbee, which is really awesome. Honestly, Shelly is just doing some fantastic stuff. I think they're just so busy at the moment. I've got a new contact at Shelly that I'm starting to work with, testing a few Shelly devices, and hopefully we're going to get some more Shelly devices because you guys love Shelly. I'm just seeing so much interest in Shelly at the moment. So I'd love to get one of those big screens. I don't know if you're here when I was showing it. I'll show you just now. It's 1:30 there and 1:33 a.m. Johnny, wow, you guys are up late, eh? I am really impressed that you are staying up so late to watch my live stream. I'll show you quickly that super cool Shelly device. I don't think you guys were online yet. when I was showing this. Let's just switch you over there. Have a look at this. This is the new Shelly. Here it is, Shelly Wall Display XL. This is quite an amazing shop now. Is it actually available by? Let's have a look. Yeah, it looks like it is. 242 euros. It's not cheap. Yeah, that'll be probably well over 500 New Zealand dollars once it gets here. But what I'm interested to see is, what does this include? I was playing this little video of this earlier, which looks pretty cool. So effectively, if we look at this, it is a 10-inch display. It's got 4 smart buttons over here. It's got a relay that's included in there. It can connect to all of your different Shelly devices. But, here's the video. Let's have another look at this video. So, yeah, 6.9, not 10-inch. Oh, there we go. They do the 10-inch wall display. So you can just connect it up where you've got an existing PowerPoint. And it will basically connect to all the Shelly devices in the network. But you can also create Home Assistant. Well, you can pull Home Assistant on there via a web page interface running on the Android channel. But it does look pretty cool. They've got graphs that you can pull in on the local Shelly interface. It seems it links up also with what else does it? Sonos speakers. If you're running Sonos, I don't run Sonos. But Home Assistant, yep. So they've got a Home Assistant in there. Shelly, is Shelly a Home Assistant? Works with Home Assistant partner yet? If not, I'm pretty sure they will be soon, because they seem to be having a lot of focus on Home Assistant. So yeah, that is a pretty cool device. I'm keen. So it's 10-inch. It's got a quad-core CPU. EU switch boxes, 2-watt speakers. So it's got built-in speakers, Bluetooth connectivity, dual band 2.4 or 5 gigahertz. That's cool. Or single relay to control 1500 watts. Brightness sensors as well as proximity. That's cool. Power monitoring function, fully customizable screen interface. Yeah, this is a cool device. I'll tell you what the problem is that I had. I've tested 2 devices similar to this. I've tested the Shelly wall panel, the basic one, and I've also tested the one from Sonos. Not Sonos, Sonoff. Getting confused, wrapping my tongue around everything here today. And the one thing that I found a little bit challenging with them was when I actually went to leave it up on the wall, the moment the system wanted to do an upgrade, it basically lost the interface with the Home Assistant showing on. So that was a little bit frustrating for me. Okay. Let's see what we've got here. Tommy is saying, can you please explain Matter over Thread and Matter over Wi-Fi? Totally. Only too happy to explain it to you. So Matter is a protocol for connecting smart home devices. Okay, it's the latest sort of protocol that's been released, and it's the way that the devices do a handshake with each other. Okay, so those devices can either connect via a Wi-Fi network, all right, which is obviously device to your Wi-Fi router, and they use Matter to connect up. So that's the one way of connecting. The other way of connecting is Thread. So Thread is a similar radio protocol. It's similar in some ways to Zigbee because you can use the same radio. So in order for it to communicate over Thread, you need what's called a Thread border router. So you can convert your existing Zigbee dongle. Some of them you can reprogram them or flash them to work on as a Thread border router. Now, I've had some challenges with doing a Thread border router in Home Assistant. So the way that I'm connecting to Matter devices over Thread is I use my Apple HomePod, I connect it to HomeKit, then I go into HomeKit and I share the device with a code over to Home Assistant, and it then shares the device and it works fine in Home Assistant. I hope that helps. It is quite tricky a concept to understand in the beginning, but I hope you did. It was a bit of help. Brendan Stevenson, I've been investing more and more money into Zigbee, but that new Z-Wave antenna makes me wonder if I made the wrong choice. Okay. So, Brennan, the first question would be, where are you based? Where in the world is Brennan? The matter that new Z-Wave or Zigbee, sorry, Z-Wave, as Americans call it, that new long, thin antenna thing only works in the USA and Canada, as far as I understand at the moment, because Z-Wave long range or Z-Wave long range only works in certain countries. So unless you're in America, I wouldn't rush out and switch everything over to Z-Wave. Other problem with Z-Wave or Z-Wave is that devices are quite expensive because there's a special fee that people have to pay to be part of the Z-Wave network. So yeah, for me, Z-Wave's not a thing because I'm in New Zealand. We work on other thing with Z-Wave is every country has its own, well, certain countries share Z-Wave different or not Z-Wave frequencies. So you need different devices for different countries. So it's quite challenging. I don't see everything switching over to Z-Wave, certainly not in the near future. Okay. Adrian is saying, Shelly just released a bunch of new devices. I like the weather station. What? Shelly has a weather station? Really? This is amazing. I must check this out, Adrian. That is cool. I must go and have a look because I love weather stations. I have an NS panel with ESP Home and the NS panel blueprint. Yes, the original NS panel worked differently. Now, unfortunately, it's a sad story. My original NS panel, I managed to fry the ESP32. So I might have to order another one of those NS panels and give it a try, flashing it again, because I believe that original one was fantastic and it works with ESP Home. The problem with these newer panels is that they work on Android. They bring up the interface with Home Assistant on a web page, and when something happens like a software upgrade, you lose it. Well, you have to then go back into it. Very frustrating. Okay. But yeah, that's a reminder of the past, and good on you. I'm glad to hear that it is working so well. All right. Paul. Paul is saying, Brennan, Z-Wave in Australia and New Zealand, very few devices available due to frequency restrictions. Yeah, Paul, this is the problem that we have down here at the bottom end of Earth. Good one. But yes, Z-Wave ZWA2 can be set to Australia, New Zealand frequency. Yeah, Paul, the unfortunate thing is that Z-Wave long wave, which is just what's been released now by Home Assistant, is the long wave is not available to us here in this part of the world. So it's a real shame. Yeah, I'm playing with LoRa for long wave. It's working better. I watched some videos of people testing. It was DigiBlur. He tested Z-Wave long range versus I'm talking so much, I'm losing my train of thought. Yeah, it works better with LoRa. That's it. LoRa is giving him further distance. So yeah, I'm going to stick with LoRa because I don't have any Z-Wave down here in New Zealand. So for me, that's what I'm going to stick with. Awesome, guys. What were we talking about? Let us get back to the chat here. That was Paul. Oh, yes, we were going to go and have a look at Shelly. That's what it was. You see, I get so hyped up during these. Okay, Shelly, weather station. Is it on here? Tech in action, latest tech in action. Let's see. The flood sensor. So that's new. I haven't seen that before. What other ones have we got here? I don't see a weather station. Let me Google it. This is cool. Having an ultrasonic. There's not many people doing ultrasonic sensors. Liquid level parking and stock monitoring. That looks like a cool device. Let us see what we've got here. Which products are you interested in? Let's see. Let's just Google it. Shelly weather station. Oh, there we go. There it is. Shelly Park weather forecast. Shelly weather station. No, I can't find it. Weather-based control. Weather-driven energy. No, I can't see the Shelly weather station. I'd be really interested to know more about it because I'm a big fan of weather stations. So yeah, please let me know what's happening about the weather station. If you've got one or you know where we can find it, that would be fantastic. Let's get you back to the right stage. Brennan Z-Wave, very few. Did we have any more chats? No, we didn't, not yet. I'm getting confused, yeah. All right, guys. To tell the truth, it's been fantastic having you guys on the long stream today. My voice is still a little bit gruff post my cold, so I think I'm going to have to call it a day or a night, wherever you are, in which part of the world. A big shout out once again. Thank you so much for everyone joining this line stream. It's been fantastic to have you guys. It's been really good to be on a live stream again. Was it on a stream? Okay. Adrian's just come back. It was a stream they did a few hours ago. So we'll have done with EcoVit. Interest. Oh, EcoWit. Yes. So I currently have an EcoWit weather station. It's fantastic. I honestly am crazy about EcoWit. So I've got an EcoWit station, and that's why I have the EcoWit hub. Okay, so they're not doing it themselves. Well, that is great to hear you. Yes, fantastic, Adrian. Great to meet you as well. I look forward to having you on further live streams in the future. I generally do at least one of these per month, sometimes two. It's always good to have you guys. I love live streaming. It's fun. I've missed it so much. July, August, September, 2 months I went without a live stream. Oh my goodness. Well, fantastic. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for joining in. Johnny, great to see you again. Thank you, everyone. Just not sure who's online still, but Adrian, Paul, Brennan, Tommy, Johnny. Who else did we have on our live stream today on our chats? David. I think that was everyone. I think I've mentioned everyone. Have I? Tommy, yes, we've spoken. Yep, that was it. Guys, thank you so much. It's been awesome. I've really enjoyed it. I will be doing these more regularly, and I look forward to catching up soon. Bye for now.